Welcome back to IceDJ Gaming's deBETA podcast, episode 5, the show that discusses hypothetical and controversial topics in and around the gaming industry. I am your host, Noah Graham, and joining me today we have the puntacular John Moore. How's it going, John?
I'm good, man.
Oh, that's good to hear. Alongside him, we have the bombastic Cody Jetson. How's it going, Cody?
Doing good.
That's again good to hear. Okay, so first we'll start off with the games that we've been playing, and we'll start with you, John.
So I always play FIFA 14. I think I suppose squeeze in a game or two every day, just because I just love soccer, and the game is just about flawless. The graphics just make the game so much more better to play. So I continue to play that, and I'll probably play. I can't wait to pick up FIFA 15. I'm really getting into Final Fantasy 14 online. Trying to get to level 25 so I can, when you get there, you can start making these free companies where you can start doing some bigger objectives and stuff like that. And then I'm starting to get into the Last of Us a little bit more here and there. I play with some of the other writers with IceDJ Gaming. We played some multiplayer last night. It was pretty fun. I haven't really progressed in the story that much just because I want to get into the multiplayer a little bit more this time around. Because when I got it the first time when it originally came out, it was just more of a story-driven game, and I wanted to do that first. But now I'm getting back into the multiplayer a little bit more.
Yeah, I was the same. Last of Us on PS3, I just played through the story and loved it, and dipped my toe into the multiplayer. But it was really good. I just didn't really have the patience to just keep going with it, because there was a few people on, but there wasn't any friends that were playing it, so there was no real incentive to keep playing.
Yeah, and there's only a few game modes too, so I mean there's not a lot of variety, I guess.
Yeah, they've got some more now, haven't they? I think there's 3.
Yeah, there's supply raid, I think interrogation, and then something else. I'm not sure. I just play supply raid most of the time.
There's survivor, supply raid, and interrogation. I think survivor where it's just one life essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one the most because it was just nice quick rounds, and when you're the last one left, there's so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
What about Final Fantasy 14? Because I haven't even played that, and I've played most of the Final Fantasies, but that is an MMO, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge too. When I started playing it, because you pick a world, which is basically a server you're stuck on, and then say you pick your certain class, and what you pick class-wise or whatever puts you in a certain place on the map, and it's pretty big when you start off. You do all this, you have a bunch of quests to do, but then when you reach a certain point in the story, the map is just explodes. It gets way bigger, and there's a lot more to do. And it runs great. It runs really smooth. The controls are fun. The fighting is really fun too, especially doing like random fates and stuff where you just have a bunch of people killing a bunch of enemies at the same time. And still, with I noticed on the PlayStation 4, you'll have they have about 15 enemies and about 10 people all on the screen at the same time. It still runs smoothly. So that was a plus for me. It's a lot of fun. There's so much to do, and I heard that once you I'm on level 23, so I think I heard when you get to level 30, it gets even bigger. So I'm trying to truck through that so I can just explode it some more.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I was just wondering, with the Final Fantasy 14, are there any characters from the previous ones that you can just find touches from the series, or is it just a completely new sort of universe?
I kind of stopped after X2, so yeah, I'm really not sure. It's kind of all new to me, I guess.
They have their old traditions, like Sid. Every Final Fantasy has a Sid where he owns an airship, and he's like the mechanic, and he helps you in some way. They have the Chocobos, the Moogles. They have Cactuars. They have a lot of famous enemies, behemoths, Magitech armor from 6. There's a lot of references, but I wouldn't say there's any actual like throwback characters, like no Cloud,
Right.
no none of that. But
Okay, I was just thinking it'd be quite cool to like help Zidane out
yeah,
on a mission or
yeah.
one of the other characters. So Cody, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I haven't been playing much, but when I do get time, I've been playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for the Wii U. That game eats a lot of time. Especially when you play online. You'll get online, you'll wait for probably 10 minutes, get a group, and the first hunt will go by in like half an hour, and you won't even realize. Like, you'll realize, you'll be sitting there, you'll kill the monster, and you'll be like, wow, where did an hour and a half of my time go? So, it eats time, but it's fun. So, I mean, you could sit there and farm monsters over and over and over again, and it always... the experience is always different, even though it's the same monster. You can cut off tails, you can break horns, and you'll gather those, and you can make like headpieces out of them or armor out of them, and you get stats, and grinding bosses is necessary for weapons and so on. So it's a massive time sink, and there are so many different types of bosses. I know when you hit high rank and G rank, they reuse bosses, but they give them different moves. So even then, you're still doing something new, and the game is just massive. And I think the last time I checked my save, I had over 170 some hours in it over the past like maybe, oh God, I don't even know, 2 or 3 weeks. So
Whoa.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that universe is known for like sinking, like for players to have to sink time into it.
Yeah.
I remember playing a demo on the PlayStation 2 because I've never actually played any of the games, so I played a demo and really enjoyed it, and I've just never had the incentive to go out and buy one, which is just a shame. I will do it at some point, but probably not in the near future. If there's ever one on the PS4, I'll definitely pick that up. But I think they're sticking with Nintendo for now, aren't they?
Yeah. I know Monster Hunter 4 right now is in Japan only on the 3DS. And I think when we get it in 2014, they said it's going to be 3DS only, and then maybe later on in the year, or 2015, and then later on in the year it'll come over to Wii U, but that's not, concrete yet, so...
Yeah, it always seems strange to me, because there was one on the PlayStation Portable as well, and it just seems weird that they've got them on handhelds. Like, to me, when I see that game, I think, surely there has to be a big screen so experience, so that you can know where the monster is and have...
Yeah, their roots were with the PlayStation, like the PlayStation Portable, for a long time. And then I think when they moved it to, was it Monster Hunter Tri? They put that on the Wii, I think. And then they realized, people were like, well, having dual analog sticks and, stuff like that, bigger screen, bigger map, makes it makes it more enjoyable. So I guess they just stuck with Nintendo. I'm not really sure, but it definitely, it's way more fun, in my opinion, to play on the big screen than the handheld, but I'm sure they're both just as fun.
Yeah, I guess the benefit that the DS has over like PlayStation handhelds is obviously the 2 screens. So you can have one for your map and your inventory, and then just one for the actual combat. So it obviously has a sort of like a plus against it. I don't know. I guess going to what I've been playing. Well, still Don Graham Cricket. I'm going to probably be bringing this up every week for the next couple of years, but it is a good game. What I love about it is the amount of like post-launch support they're giving it. So far we've had 3 patches, all 3 that they've just they're constantly working on just to tweak things, just to make sure that bowling and batting is sort of getting better, the AI is getting better. Graphically it's not going to change much, but I just love the fact that they're continually supporting it after release, because they know that they've got a bit of a glitchy game, and they really are trying to sort that out. So even though it's not the best game in the world, there's a lot of love that's gone into it. I've also been playing Danganronpa. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this.
No idea.
It's a very Japanese game for the PS Vita. I know that Brit, our writer, is going to be reviewing the second one when that comes out. So essentially what it is you're an average student who, but just by luck gets enrolled in this sort of like this really elite school for top students. And in the Japanese way, you sort of have people who are ultimate fighters, ultimate fan fiction writers, ultimate pop star, just all these like weird ultimate students just into one school. And you go there and you get like knocked out, you wake up in a classroom, and essentially this weird bear who's the headmaster, like soft toy bear kind of thing, comes up and says, in order to graduate from this school you have to kill somebody. And there's all these different rules, and it's an interactive sort of story, so you have to go around looking for clues and things and just try and find out who killed who. And I really like the art style. It's such a weird game, but just really works.
Is it like a murder mystery kind of thing?
Yeah, it's definitely a murder mystery. And when somebody dies and you have to go into, you find out all the clues and everything, then at the end of it there's a class trial, where essentially everybody has to sort of like have a unanimous vote on who committed the murder. And if they get it right, then that person gets executed. But if that person gets executed isn't the one that's voted, then everybody else dies and they graduate. So it's kind of like a kill or be killed, except you're not actually doing the execution. But it's such a good game. The only thing I would say against it is when you're in the trials, I don't like how they're portrayed, because like they'll go to certain people who are making a statement, and so there'll be a line of text that comes up on the screen, and the bit of it will be highlighted orange and things like that, and you essentially have to shoot one of your statements and break it and sort of say whether or not you believe that that's true or false, and then you bring up evidence to support your statement. And it's a good idea, but it feels too gamey for what the actual game is, and then it's weird, but it just doesn't settle well for me. So they might change it in the second one, but I'll definitely pick that up because I'm having a blast with it so far. Last game that I'm playing is Tomb Raider, and it's not the definitive edition one, it's the one that I got for PS3 last year, start of last year. The reason why I'm playing it now is because I played it when I originally got it, but I got to the ship section, if either of you two have played it.
I haven't played it yet.
Okay, well, you get to this ship section where you need to sort of improve your bow so that you can pull this crane round and drop a box to open a hole so you can go into the ship. Well, when I did it, I was one of the people who suffered from the game-breaking glitch, where you pull it down and it just the crate stays in the air. It doesn't like get brought round with the crane, so it doesn't drop into the hole. And I tried it about 3 or 4 times and thought, I can't do this. So essentially waited a year, got back into it, they've patched it, and I completed it, and it's an alright game. I mean, I enjoyed it well. Yeah, after all that, I guess my experience was kind of sort of like tarred by that, yeah. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't think it deserves all the praise it got. The one part I did like about it is throughout the game you only have one pistol, and then right towards the end when you're killing the main guy, you pick up his gun and do the like classic Tomb Raider double shot thing. I thought that was a really nice touch.
That's cool.
Because obviously it's an origin story.
Right.
Yeah, it could be better. The combat's good, but it's the story. The supporting characters in it aren't too great. But if you're looking for a bit of fun, it won't take you that long to complete. I'd certainly recommend it just because it's Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I've thought about getting it, so I might try it here eventually.
Yeah, I'd suggest getting it for the definitive. I mean, Tomb Raider does look good, but you might as well just just because it'll be on the PS4.
Yeah.
So yeah, we spent quite a long time with that, but no worries, we'll just go straight into our first topic, which is, with the recent amount of developers that are releasing games in alpha stages for money, is it fair to assume that developers are getting complacent? And we'll start with you, John.
Right. I know that from the way I see it, they want. I'm on two sides of it. Like, I know they want to put it in alpha stage so people can play it, and then give them the feedback so they can, make the game, tailored to these people. So, it's kind of what it's letting them know, hey, we're gonna make these games how you want them, so you'll buy it, and we want to let you know that we're here for you to make these games how you want them and to receive your feedback and stuff like that. And then on the other end, I see it happen more and more. So of course it makes me think, like, do they really even want to, like, finish making it on their own, or do they not have a plan to go through all the way, and you're banking off of these people giving them feedback? So it makes them just kind of get to a certain point, and it's like, all right, we have our game, but we have room for more, and we're going to leave it up to the people, to the testers or whatever in the alpha stage to decide. And I wonder if they make it, they make it from start to finish, and that's it, and they just let them test it. Like, hey, this needs to be fixed, this little thing needs to be fixed, and they don't change the whole game. That would be okay, but it's happening more and more. So I'm thinking, they'll make these big changes. It kind of makes me think that they're lazy. I don't want to. I'm just on the fence about it. I'm not too entirely sure, but I think maybe in some cases, yes. I'm just not. I'm kind of in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, I'm very similar stance on it. I think it's okay if they're not charging for it, because then you can just sort of say, yeah, we are just wanting to get as much feedback. We really want to make a game that you guys would love, and so anything that you can suggest to, like, tweak things, that would be really great. But to charge for it kind of sort of seems like, well, we have this unfinished work, you can play it if you really want to, but you have to pay for it. I just think, well, hang on, you're getting a sale without even having to fully develop the game. That's not good. Because, I mean, imagine if AAA Studios did that, like, next Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, we've got about 5 hours, but you can pay full price for it, and they could just leave it at that. I mean, obviously they wouldn't, but they could just leave it at that. If a lot of people got vested in it, just say, oh yeah, well, we've decided to can this project. So they've spent a few months and got massive investment. As long as we don't go down that path, I think it can work, and it certainly works for smaller studios anyway, because they obviously don't have the money that AAA companies do. So for them to be able to release it early, and them being very much of the game community, they obviously do want to create the best gaming experience. But yeah, as long as it doesn't sort of bleed into bigger and bigger companies, I think it's okay. It's kind of like Kickstarter, where you don't want big companies to then go onto Kickstarter to fundraise a game that they're not willing to invest money in themselves. Do you have anything to say on it, Cody?
I mean, I would just echo you guys, really, but the few games that do make it out of the alpha stages into the beta stages and then rarely, into a full-blown game are very few and far between, I think. We've definitely seen it time and time again not work for a lot of people, and I think that's left a lot of people with bad taste in their mouth for the whole alpha thing. And I think a lot of people would also agree that the whole alpha, paying for an alpha to get into an alpha for the half promise of a better game later on, it's never gone that well. I mean, there are a few cases such as Don't Starve, and that's all I can think of at the moment. But I mean, I don't know. I think that when a game is released in alpha, you should just wait until the full game comes out, or a promising beta maybe. But I wouldn't put your hard-earned money into it. So
yeah, well, at Gamescom this week they announced that DayZ will be coming to PlayStation 4, and I think that's still in alpha stages. So it's quite strange that they're announcing it's coming to PlayStation. So I'm not sure when it'll come and what stage of development it'll be in. But
yeah, because I haven't heard anything about that either. I did hear it was coming to PS4 though, and yeah, I mean that's been alpha. The standalone has been an alpha on the PC for probably maybe a year and a couple months now, and I think I heard it through you guys that it was coming to the PS4, and I couldn't believe that they would release a game either A in alpha or B it's going to go through the beta into the full-blown stage in the next whatever couple months or a year. I really hope they don't go that route with the PlayStation version and go, hey, alpha for the PS4. I don't think that would go over well at all.
Well, that's the thing that I think a lot of fans were getting annoyed at, is they paid for this alpha game.
Yeah.
Apparently it's extremely buggy, and the updates for it are quite slow. And for them to then say that we're doing one for PS4, it's kind of like just leaving the computer crowd sort of stranded.
Yeah.
Just sort of saying, well, hang on, we paid for this game. Can you at least give us a bit more instead of just going and working for Sony on a PlayStation 4 version? The other side to it, though, is that because they're now doing it for PlayStation 4, they could be getting more resources onto it, because DayZ is a mod for Arma 2, I think.
Yep. So
it might actually end up benefiting the computer crowd, but certainly see where they're coming from. I'm not sure how much they sold it for, but to buy it and then for them to say, oh, yeah, we're just doing a PS4 version, I think it's not probably the greatest move, but considering it was only a mod, I'm sure they have the money rolling in, so they're not too bothered. Speaking of zombies, I guess we can go on to topic 2, which is will the zombie craze ever end? Now, we'll start off with you, Cody. What do you think?
I'm gonna be one of those glass half empty kind of guys and say definitely not within the foreseeable future. It's a craze I definitely have to say that I don't enjoy, and I didn't enjoy. I stopped enjoying maybe after the first month or two, but that's a completely different podcast. But yeah, I mean there are definitely variations that I think kind of change the game a little bit, Last of Us with the whole cordyceps thing, but they're still kind of, mindless humans that are, taking over. I think in that regard, no, I don't think we'll see an end to the zombie, phenomenon or whatever you want to call it for a long time with all these variations, but I think people are going to get sick of it, but just not anytime soon. It's a popular thing. It's like the the big space age kind of thing back when the Atari was around, and everyone's like, oh, space, aliens, and that died out. But I think where technology is where it is right now, the dreams of zombies and stuff are a lot more easier to put on screen and put into games better than they were back in the 80s with like Galaga and stuff like that. It's not the same. So
yeah, that's my thing on zombies. I think, we've got so many, but as soon as I heard that DayZ's come to PS4, I was just like, yes. And it's just like it's such a weird thing, because I do see this sort of saturation of all these zombie things, but then The Last of Us did spice up. I mean, people were going to say that they weren't technically zombies, but come on, they were.
Oh.
They just had they were just aware that they were being controlled, but they're essentially zombies. I mean, they wanted to EU that classified as zombie in my sort of case, but yeah, I'm not sure if it will ever end. I don't mind zombie games. I'm more of a fan of the post-apocalyptic sort of setting, and that's the only sort of way that we're getting it, is through zombies. So with the likes of The Division coming up, and Fallout will come in soon, I hope. I really do hope. But yeah, so zombies are sort of my only outlet for this post-apocalyptic setting. So I hope it does end, just to give it a break and then for it to come back. But as long as we've got like shows like The Walking Dead around, I think it's going to stay for quite a while, just because how popular it is. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I agree with you on with the Walking Dead thing. As long as that show stays around, just because it seems like it brings in more people every season it's on. But I think I agree with Cody. I think it eventually will go away. I think I disagree because I love the zombie stuff. I think it'll go away eventually. I like it. Well, I'm starting to not like it as much because of the oversaturation and all these. I don't know, all this like these really dumb zombie movies that don't make any sense, and there's too many of them, and it's just everywhere. I still like it. Like I love everything about killing zombies and zombie games, and The Last of Us was fantastic. But I just don't think it'll go away anytime soon. Like Cody was saying. I think. I'm just echoing what you guys said. Just because it's everywhere now. Like there's always there's some kind of zombie game coming out every year. It's supposed to be different, but really it probably won't be. And there's always these B movies that are shooting out everywhere, and every year there'll be a big one. And it's just I feel like it's in its prime right now, so I don't think it'll go away anytime soon.
Well, that's the thing. I guess you could view it sort of like how I view Call of Duty. I mean, if people want to play that, that's fine, but it's not really my thing, so I don't really have to invest in it if I don't want to. But I do like some of these developers that are working on zombie games. I just sort of think, well, you could try something different. Like, don't just stick to some games. I mean, they're doing another Dead Island, which I didn't realise that game was so popular. I mean, I played the first one and I just thought, this is not good. The combat's not fun. The exploration, you're just coming across the same setting every time. The characters are horrible. Customization is alright. The way that the zombies just respawned in the exact same place, they're just like, what is this? On the other hand, Dying Light is a game that's coming out quite soon, and that's sort of like mixing parkour with zombies, and I think that's a nice sort of change, because not only, I mean, it might be set in a zombie sort of world, but you're able to sort of like run and jump, kind of like Mirror's Edge kind of stuff, and I just love that sort of that flow of just being able to run up walls and then make big jumps, and I also like this sort of stance that when at night you sort of become hunted instead, you're not the one going out, you're not wanting to engage in a zombie, so it might sort of breathe life into this very stale genre.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that can be done with zombies, but it seems like a lot of people are sticking with the tried and true kind of hunter zombie, forage for food kind of thing, instead of, doing these gimmicky kind of things like you said with the whole parkour. There are things you don't see very often, but when you do, they normally they come with good praise. So
yeah, just speaking about the zombie craze, I just had that. I think it's called iZombie is coming out. I'm not sure when. I've seen a poster for it. It's like, what is this?
Oh,
I'm not even bother watching any of it. It just looks weird. Weird.
It's a show?
Yes, a show.
Oh, okay.
Look it up after the podcast. I've only seen the poster.
The name makes it sound like an iPhone game.
Yeah.
It's like an app or something.
What it is it's just going to record the people outside Apple stores. iZombie is just the same one buying all the devices.
That's awesome.
That's essentially what it is.
Pretty much.
See them all stampeding over the next whatever iteration this one is in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I think we should move on to topic 3.
Yeah.
We've done the zombie one to death, you might say. So, I'm sorry, I had to. So, third topic is, if you had to be one gaming character's sidekick, who would it be? I'll start with you, John.
I would be Dom from Gears of War. And I say that because I put a lot of time into those games, and when And I usually in the last one, on the third one, I played all the way through in one sitting, so it was like all of it in 10 hours. Yeah, it was fantastic. But when just like the brotherhood that him and Marcus Phoenix had throughout the whole series was, I can relate to that because I have brothers, and most of the time I'd be playing it with my brothers or alongside one of them. So the whole time I was playing it, it was like we were both either one of them. We would just dive into the characters, and his death was terrible. It was really hard. I think when my little brother played it, he was like, dude, almost cried. I was like, I know, it's awful. But I mean, he went out in such a good way to save Marcus to keep going on. So just the whole brotherhood factor in that, and that they really helped each other out, and personal stuff, and with going on to kill all these enemies and stuff. But I would have to say Dom from Years of War.
And the fact that he'd be incredibly muscly, I'm sure that's a benefit.
Oh yeah, he was huge. He could bench press 1,000 pounds. He's crazy.
Yeah, I played the first Gears of War. Is Dom the one that had that train sort of thing, or is that somebody else I'm thinking of? But no, that's like Cold Train or something like that.
It is Cold Train, yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Well, I enjoyed it. I'm just not invested in the series.
Yeah.
So who would you pick, Cody?
Oh man, so I thought long and hard about this. I went back, looked through all my games. I'm like, really, what? Who could it be? And then I'm like, okay, well, I tried to twist the words a little bit. Gaming character. I'm like, okay, let's be a villain, maybe like a villain sidekick. And I looked, and I'm like, there's no villain sidekicks. So I mean, if I had to be a sidekick, I'd want to be a sidekick who gets to be in the spotlight a lot, doesn't really have to do a lot of work, and still gets kind of the glory for it. So I'd have to be I'd have to be Diddy Kong, because first of all, my friend owns a country, an island, and he has a massive banana horde underneath his hut. I mean, I own my own car, my hovercraft, I own a plane, I have a barrel jetpack, I have peanut pop guns. I mean, just Donkey Kong goes off and kills K. Rool. I still get the glory. I get my own game afterward. I mean, that's the life.
And a stylish little shirt.
Yeah, just monkey around. That's all it'd be.
So yeah, when I saw the question, my first thought would either be Dexter or Clank, just because I love the sarcasm that Dexter brings, but then I also love Clank because he can control his own robots, and he's just such a cool character. I mean, being next to Ratchet and being able to fly around all those planets would just be awesome. And then I thought, well, we haven't defined sidekick, so my eventual pick was Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, just because he is one of the best characters that the Final Fantasy series have ever created, and just all that magic that you just be able to cast on. I'm not sure if he's technically a sidekick, but I just think it'd be pretty awesome to be Vivi. But then when you brought up the enemy thing as well, I didn't think about that, and I thought, well, actually Sephiroth is technically a sidekick in the Final Fantasy series. I can't remember what the end boss for Final Fantasy is called, but Sephiroth's being controlled by him, I think, or I don't know.
Yeah, he was made with like Genova cells, and
that's the one,
he really is like controlled by Hojo, who kind of created him. He kind of brought him up to be, this evil person, and to act like, yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a kind of cool take, but I could not think of one evil video game character who had a sidekick, because I'm like, oh man, I could just, rule the world, whatever. But
right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're in Sephiroth, just imagine a massive sword you get to carry around.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine the kebabs on that. Oh, that'd be great.
I'd be worried about that guy turning on me, that's all. He could snap any second.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be in a room with him.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
No.
Okay, I think that'll do us for episode 5 of the deBETA cast. Thank you for joining us, and remember to check out all our content on icedjgaming.weebly.com for news, reviews, and our other podcast, which is the AlphaCast. Yeah, I think it is anyway. If you have any topics that you'd like us to debate, go on to our forums and leave a message there, or you can send us an email at deBETAcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet one of us at. Start with you, John. What's your Twitter account?
Mine is MX2Nerd.
Cody?
Ydoc Vader, YDOCVADER.
Okay, and you can tweet me at Noahgraham17. That's NOAHGRAHAM17. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
See you guys.